morning. This presentation is brought to you by Resonate International with a mission to leverage knowledge worldwide. The topic being covered is walking fearlessly with love in heart. Ladies and gentlemen, life unfolds through changing seasons of togetherness and solitude. At times, familiar companionship may grow quiet, and paths that once ran side by side may gently diverge. Yet, hidden within such moments is a profound invitation to discover that the deepest source of strength, peace, and love does not depend entirely on changing circumstances around, but on what remains constant within. It lives quietly, waiting to be recognized. In that discovery lies the ability to walk fearlessly with love still shining in the heart. Human beings naturally cherish connection. Relationships bring comfort, encouragement, and a sense of belonging. Yet, every relationship moves within the ever-changing currents of life. Circumstances shift, responsibilities evolve, and people respond according to their understanding, courage, and capacity in a particular moment. Seeing this with wisdom softens expectation and deepens compassion. Love then becomes less about holding on and more about appreciating what is present. Nature quietly reveals that challenge is often not an interruption of growth, but the very process through which hidden strength is uncovered. A tree develops its deepest roots when it must withstand storms and changing seasons. The very forces that seem to test its stability become the forces that help it stand taller and stronger. An oyster transforms an irritant into a pearl, turning discomfort into something precious. A river does not resist the rocks in its path. By learning to flow around them, it continues its journey and over time even shapes the hardest stone. Across nature, what first appears to be an obstacle often becomes the means through which resilience, beauty, and endurance are revealed. Science offers a remarkably similar insight. Research on human resilience shows that periods of uncertainty frequently awaken capacities that remain hidden during comfort. Adaptability, patience, courage, creativity, and emotional depth often emerge when familiar supports become less certain. What appears to be a loss of certainty can become a deeper discovery of inner resources that were present all along, waiting for the right moment to reveal themselves. The cosmos tells the same story on a grander scale. Creation itself seems to suggest that renewal often begins in places that appear empty or uncertain. For example, the elements that make life possible were forged in the hearts of ancient stars, and new stars are born within vast clouds of cosmic darkness. Likewise, beneath the soil, a seed silently prepares for new life before reaching toward the light and becoming a magnificent tree. In much the same way, taking the human context, moments of solitude can become sacred spaces of self-realization, inviting an awareness of a larger presence within that remains steady in companionship through every changing season of life. When love becomes anchored in that all-pervading divine presence, it acquires a beautiful freedom. Relationships can be cherished fully. Kindness can flow abundantly, and yet the heart remains inwardly steady. Through awareness, alignment, and communion with the timeless intelligence that moves through all creation, a profound reassurance quietly emerges. The deepest companionship never departs. Love then becomes an expression of one's own deepest nature, gentle, fearless, and enduring. What's the way forward? Perhaps the invitation of life is not to seek a world where nothing changes, but to discover a center within that remains unchanged amidst all change. From that inner steadiness arises the freedom to love wholeheartedly, to appreciate every companionship, and to walk forward with trust in the quiet presence that accompanies every step of the journey. In conclusion, ladies and gentlemen, the deepest companionship in life may not always be the one that walks beside every step. Often, it is the silent strength, trust, and wisdom that awakens within and remain present through every season and every turning of the path. As Lord Krishna assures in the revealed Bhagavad Gita, fix your mind on me, be devoted to me, and you shall surely come to me. This is my promise to you, for you are dear to me. To walk fearlessly with love in heart is to recognize that while circumstances may change and companions may come and go, there remains an eternal divine presence that never withdraws and never ceases to guide. Anchored in that eternal companionship through alignment, trust and surrender, the heart stays open, love continues to shine, and every step, whether taken in company or in solitude, becomes an opportunity to walk fearlessly with love in heart and grace in spirit. Good luck, best wishes, and God bless.